Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We are on week number 3. We've taken a little bit of a deeper dive into our theorists, and we're going to tie a little bit of this together while we're looking at a common problem which I'm sure goes beyond the borders of the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department and into a lot of people's line of work right now: employee retention. Now, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, we're having a difficulty hiring and retaining people. We're hemorrhaging people on both ends of the spectrum. We have a lot of people that are retiring thanks to circumstances and them getting into the 28 and 30 year realm, and we're also getting a lot of people that are just leaving that have only spent a couple months with us. Now the question is how can we fix this, and what do our theorists say about it? Well, why don't we go ahead and start with Maslow. Now, Maslow introduced us to our hierarchy of needs. He's saying that basically we got to fulfill all this stuff if we want to get to self-actualization, be the best person that we can be. But where does retention fall in this? What needs need to be met in order to have retention? Well, we got to start from the bottom. We got to make our way up. So we got our physiological needs. Anybody needs these. If your job is just begging, even, you got to be able to fulfill your physiological needs. You need your food, shelter, sleep, clothing. You need all of that stuff. Moving on beyond that, we need safety. We're looking at the Sheriff's Department. Safety is a big thing right now. We have a lot of officer-involved shootings. We have a lot of officers dying. How do we make people safe? We train them. We give them the proper equipment that they need. Guns, vests, bullets, things like that, handcuffs. But where is that all we need? I mean, that's pretty much any law enforcement agency. I'm thinking that we draw the line here at the next one: love and belonging. Love and belonging. You need that sense, that sense of being part of something, of being a family. So I think once we get past there, that's where we're really going to start bringing in our retention. Now, how do we do that? How do we do that? I think a lot of it is putting oneself aside and making people realize that the Sheriff's Department is someplace where they can belong, where it's not just a job, it's not just a career, it's something more than that. Now, interestingly enough, we can actually divide this even further. When we get into McGregor's theory of X and theory of Y, we look at a lot of intrinsic versus extrinsic needs. Our theory Y people, to be happy, they just need your physiological needs and the safety and security, and they take care of the rest. Our theory X people, they're the ones that need that little bit more. They need that little bit extra. They got to go above and beyond. So I think we can divide things even further. We're looking at McGregor. So when we look at McGregor in combination with Maslow, we're really looking at individualizing things. Instead of taking things on a grand scale and looking things in big group settings, we can really individualize and really tailor things to the individual. But that's going to require management. Once we start bringing it into an individual level, we need those managers to look at each person as an individual and recognize where they fall and what exactly they're going to need in order to keep them around. Because, like any relationship, if you don't find what you need, you're going to go look someplace else. Going back to Follett, we need to make them part of this. I think this is a big key, whether we're X, Y, wherever we're at on the theories, wherever we're at on our hierarchy of needs, we need people to feel as if they're contributing, as if they're part of something. If it's just as simple as you show up, yes sir, no sir, do what you're told and then move on, you're not contributing to anything in the department, into your job, into your career. You need that little bit extra. And that's where Follett comes in. Follett's idea that we can make people part of it, that we can share the power. that they can actually be part of decision making and guiding and building the structure, putting together those little pieces of the puzzle. A lot of that, I think, will bring out your self-actualization. That's going to bring out your belonging. Within the Sheriff's Department, we need to be able to listen. We're a paramilitary organization, so we have a very strict hierarchy. That's why we have rank, we have structure. But if we don't listen to the people that are at the bottom, they're not going to feel like they're part of it. They're not going to feel like they're contributing to the organization in the ways that they can, and a lot of them have some really good ideas that we need to take into account. And I think that will also help in order to start retaining these people. Make them understand that it's not the sheriff's department, but it's all the deputy sheriffs. And that will bring us to Fayol's concept of esprit de corps. Being part of something that's bigger than yourself. Taking pride in it. Ownership. This is an obvious example of some very motivated esprit de corps Navy personnel. But what are we doing in our organizations to help people gain that understanding? For a lot of people, it doesn't come early in the career. It comes as they get later on in their careers. And when we bring people in, especially with the Sheriff's Department, instead of just going through the basic academy and going through the steps, we could really impart on them a lot of the history and the culture of the Sheriff's Department and where we're coming from, and try and make them proud to be a member. Instill that esprit de corps in them. Alright, so wrapping things up here. Employee retention is a huge issue. We need to retain our employees. This way we can spend less money, give more training, and get the money out of where it is and put it into where it should be. So we really need to work on what it's going to take to keep our employees, whether it's benefits, salary, esprit de corps, sense of belonging, fulfilling those hierarchies of needs. There's a lot of different ways that we can go about retaining employees, and I really believe it really does come down to individual tailorization. Some people got to work a little bit harder, some people they don't have to work quite as hard, and I think that's where you and me and all of us as managers can come in, and we can really make that employee retention happen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to your comments in the discussion board. Thank you.